But our first game is Wolverine X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is a movie licensed game.
Yes.
I'm a little worried about that. I was a little worried about that before I played it.
Yeah.
Because, right?
Yeah, there's actually, you're looking at next week, there's Terminator. A lot of these big movies have games associated with them. We actually we're skipping this game. We'd kind of gone past it, and a bunch of people on the forums and on YouTube and stuff were just like, hey, check out
You gotta try
Wolverine.
this game.
It's pretty fun.
And we actually gave it a try, and you know what? It actually is pretty fun.
It's pretty
for
fun.
the most part. Now, I'm not gonna go out to say that this is gonna be like one of those action games to roll all action games.
Right.
But it's pretty fun. So, how does it work? Like, what's the general idea behind this game?
So it is walking through the movie.
I heard they added some other stuff that wasn't in the movie, but for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of on this linear path in the movie where you're walking through the plot points, and you're Wolverine. You find out the backstory with his brother. You find out the backstory with you being in the lab, getting adamantium bones, them trying to kill you, blah blah blah. So you're fighting through all this stuff, but so the focus of it is all combat. And they really make the combat kind of crazy. Like, almost over the top. Like we were talking some of the examples, but I was playing and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. He's going to go and you see a helicopter over there. I'm like, okay, I can run over to the helicopter. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I can bash the glass in. Like, I'm down with that. And then he grabs the guy, lifts his head up to the rotor blades, and then he throws him, and then he jumps back off. And I'm like, that's pretty funny. I was giggling. I know. I was giggling. There's some parts that are just hilarious, or there's some parts that are pretty awesome, where there's these ghost dudes that are invisible, and they show up next to you, and he just goes like this, and then kills two invisible dudes. There's moments. It's one of those things where nothing stands out about the mechanics of the game. It's not the best fighting game. It's not whatever, but you're kind of honestly, it's like renting a movie. Yeah. Like, you're kind of playing through the movie. Like, you have no doubt you're going to beat the game. Like, sure. The levels aren't particularly challenging. Yeah, the gameplay-wise, like you're saying, it's just it's not God of War. They're not actually going to do that stuff. But, I'm looking at them like this is probably what it feels like to watch the Wolverine movie. Right? It's a summer popcorn thriller. This is a popcorn game. And I'm like, I can't fault it for that because, at the very core, the mechanics weren't bad. No, they weren't too bad. No, and actually, the one cool one I really liked, I don't know about you, but it's the lunge. Lunge was the shit. Lunge, something about it, just being able to see somebody way out there, target him, you see this little arrow thing, and you're like, Rah! And occasionally they would even do it cinematically, where they pop it from the dude's point of view, and you just see you coming I'm gonna fuck your face, just oh! I know another game that did that. What's that? Deadly Creatures. Oh, yeah, that's right, Deadly Creatures! Dude, they stole it from Deadly Creatures! They stole the tarantula lunge. That was seriously, it was called the lunge. Deadly Creatures, setting the tone for all games. Innovating. On the Wii, of all things. Seriously, I didn't even make the connection. I'm like, wow, that reminds me of another game. You're absolutely right. Wolverine stole the fucking tarantula lunge. But they did add one extra element, right? You do the lunge, and then you can hit B at the right time, and you do the lunge, and then you grab their head, and you do a flip and you throw them into a spike. Or you can do deadly attacks, you can, and the spikes are kind of nice. Yeah. And so they have a lot of good leveling, some stuff. So they have some God of War isms, right? So it's you kill guys, you get experience points, you get orbs, which I kind of like the orbs, but whatever. You get the rage orbs, right? But you can upgrade your claw strength, your various special abilities, your health, all this stuff, and it's fun. Yeah, it is seriously fun. It is. And the cool thing is they added enough variation where you keep learning new attacks, and then they also do these things where if you explore the levels a lot, you can find the I forgot to call the add-ons. They're called accoutrement or something. I don't know if they call them. I don't think they're called that, but basically you have several equipable slots, and you can swap in these abilities. Oh, mutagens. Mutagens, that's right. So you can swap in those things. Like you said, you can choose what things to level up. So you're kind of a lot of hidden stuff. I think, in the very beginning of the level, I found the classic X-Men suit. Yes. Or something like that. So I'm guessing maybe you get other costumes, you get some other stuff. But the thing is, JPEGs of Rogue naked. That would, yes. I would pay Kitty for Pride that. Would be Kitty Pride and nice. Rogue slash fiction videos. That Bumping uglies. Yes. Yeah, so this game is the thing is, I'm not going to give this a buy. I'm seriously not. No. I can see myself playing for about 3 or 4 hours, and maybe I finish it, maybe I don't, but it's okay. The 3 or 4 hours, I had fun. It's worth the rental. The bosses are a little bit dumb. A little bit? The bosses are really dumb. So no, what about the fucking puzzles, dude? I couldn't figure them out. I had to go to GameFAQs.
I know. Pushing the block was very difficult.
You know, you have to push the block like 4 feet. Sometimes you have to pick up an energy canister and walk it to the other side of the room.
Right.
What if you get lost?
Sometimes you do get lost because like some doors have green and red, and I was like, I kept on going through the red doors, but it wouldn't open. So.
Well, how were you supposed to know?
I know.
I mean, if it's one of these. It's a game for smart people. Is the problem?
I know.
It's just like you're playing, and you're just like, all right, Captain Smarty, I can't figure out these puzzles. Yeah. So
I'm so glad that at least you can, trial and error. Like, after about an hour of playing this game,
I tried every door.
Yeah, eventually it worked.
So the puzzles are retardedly simple.
Really bad. Yeah.
Really simple. The bosses are just kind of dumb because every boss has the same basic pattern, which is you figure out until they're vulnerable, jump on them, and then punch,
and then basically hit them in the back. Yeah.
And it's like I fought 3 bosses, with the exception of
the one guy, the brother. What's his name, right?
Sabretooth. Wasn't his? No, that's not him.
I don't think that's
his brother. Whatever his brother's name is, you actually have to fight him. But I mean,
dude, what is up with that fucking boss? Like, I was seriously.
I got so mad.
I'm like, you're fighting him. Like, this isn't a spoiler.
You're fighting Wolverine's brother.
Wolverine's brother. It's not really a spoiler because it happens really early. But basically, you fight him, you kill him, go all the way down to health, and he regenerates 4 times.
Yeah. So you kill him inside, his health comes back up. You kill him inside, he throws you outside. You kill him outside.
A few more times, you kill him, and then you get a cutscene.
Yeah. So the cutscene is him beating the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So you have proceeded to hand him his own whooped ass 4 times, and then there's this cutscene where he's just hitting you with telephone poles
and then kills your girlfriend.
Kills your girlfriend. It's like,
that's not a reward.
Yeah, you should have at least had it so he was impossible to beat. So you fight valiantly, you lose, and then you get that cutscene. Like, this was just stupid.
There are a couple of the games that do that, where you have a boss battle and then it's preordained, and it's just like it's like one of those cardinal sins I think game designers do. They're just like, look, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make you struggle, you have to show him defeating shit, and God of War does that really well.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, do they ever do a thing where you fail? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think I don't remember any like the failure was more like it wasn't after a fight.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, so that was dumb. There was a machine gun scene on a boat that was dumb.
That was a total intern project, right?
It was like they had some guy they just tacked on this thing where they're like, you're in a boat and you got a machine gun.
The controls were god awful.
The controls are awful. So I mean, notice how we're complaining a lot about this game. I mean, the thing is
it's okay.
It really is just okay. It's just a rental. You go out and you play it. It's bubblegum. The fun parts of it do kind of save the unfun parts.
Yeah, I would say that the mere fact, like just giggling on how bloody and gory this was just like my wife came by, and was just like, "What the hell are you laughing at?" And then she would see all this gore. I'm like, "Oh my god, that's disgusting!" Yeah. And I'm like, "Actually, it's really funny."
Yeah. Like, and that's exactly what happened. It's like Adrian was sitting next to me, and I was just like killing dudes. And I was like, and she's just like, I don't like that laugh.
Yeah, it's kind of an evil laugh, but it's fun. It's pure, unadulterated, like fun.
Yep.
So
rental.
And if it's $20-$30, maybe buy it.
Rental.
Even then, $20. I'll give it $20, maybe. 60.
I'd buy it for 10. No. I'd buy it for 10. Because I mean, you're gonna beat it once. You're never gonna play it again. You might let your friends borrow it. You're just like, dude, you want to see a game where you stick some guy's head in a fucking helicopter blade? Check this out. Borrow that. So
that works for me.